All right, so let's start off with our first family of instruments, the string family, and we're going to start off with the most well-known string instrument, maybe not the most well-known, but super well-known one, the violin. So make sure you have your headphones, and let's hear what the violin sounds like. All right, and right there we have a very light, bright, and brilliant timbre that comes specifically from the violin. Now let's hear the next version, which is a slightly bigger version of the violin, known as the viola or the viola, depending where you're from. So you can see it sounds very similar to the violin, but it has a bit more depth, just a little bit. It's a bit more whole sounding because it's a bit bigger. So you can even see it takes up way more space on her body. It's a bit more chesty, a bit more stately in the way that it sounds. And that right there is the viola. Let's see if we can be able to differentiate between how violin and viola sound. So let's hear someone who's going to play the same pieces, but on different instruments. So right here, it's pretty big. So this is the viola. So the first most important thing you can see is just the amount of space that it takes on his body. The violin is smaller. It was the second one he played. The viola was the first one. And you could hear that it was a bit lighter compared to the viola. The violin was a bit lighter. Let's hear one more comparison that he makes. Now let's hear the viola. And right there you can hear it's a little bit deeper, slightly more whole sounding. All right, let's take it to a slightly bigger brother, the cello. So right there you can see it's a little bit darker, it's more mellow, it's sonorous in comparison to the others, but it in itself is very mellow, sonorous, and a bit dark sounding. I'd also add on it's a little bit warm. All right, now let's hear the biggest of them all, the double bass. Let's see another example from the double bass. So right there you can see it's a lot more dark, it's penetrating, and it has a very rumbling quality, like things are shaking. All right, very deep, very powerful, and really good instrument. All right, let's take it to our last string instrument. Although there are many others, we're just looking at some of the main ones, like the guitar. The ukulele counts as a stringed instrument. Let's hear what the harp sounds like. All right, so right, they're very magical, very pristine, brilliant, kind of like the violin, and that's the harp. So those are our stringed instruments. Let's go on to the next one.